across the screens.
Yeah. Alrighty. So welcome to session 2 of our Isle of Dread slash Tomb of Annihilation inspired Forbidden Lands game. For anybody who may be watching at some point, there are elements of Forbidden Lands, including the system and the mechanics, but there's also a healthy dose of old school D&D. So there's going to be some creatures and stuff from old school D&D that are not in Forbidden Lands, but I found some stuff online to help me translate them. Other than that, we'll do a recap of the last session. So last game, you guys made your way, willingly or not, to the island, to this prison. For things that you have done or things that you were accused of doing and found guilty of. This huge empire has sentenced you to a penal colony for which to serve out your sentence. Your options are to reside in this tiny little village and toil away for nothing, knowing that if you die, the mayor of the town, a woman named Izalda, will just simply animate your corpse so you can continue working. Since that did not sound terribly appealing to anyone, you made a deal with a local kind of a merchant in this village named Santino. Cuddy, your goblin peddler, traded him a very, very lovely magnifying glass to get you guys some provisions. And still a little bit of store credit. And you decided to set out to the other side of this massive wall into the interior of the island itself. The agreement, for lack of a better term, with the Empire is when your sentence is up and the ship comes to take you home, whatever you have acquired during your stay is yours to keep, so you can start a life anew as a upstanding member, citizen of the Empire.
Which no one has ever done.
To the best of your knowledge, no one has ever done. And some asking around in the village indicates that nobody in the village remembers anybody actually leaving either. So, who knows?
Yeah.
You managed to make your way probably about 10 or 12 miles outside the island, off this little peninsula and into the island itself. When you spotted some gray-skinned humanoids kind of hiding in the underbrush. Deciding to sneak up on them, by the time you got to them, you saw that those folks had been attacked and taken down by some lizard folk-like people who were in the process of eating one of them. Decided not to stand for that. You gave battle to these lizard folk, drove off a couple of them, killed a couple, one with a beautifully orchestrated beheading swing from your human fighter, Desislava. Tried to save these the two gray-skinned humanoids. One of them was beyond saving, but your halfling did manage to stabilize the other one, and basically you guys decided to move a little bit away, not terribly far, set up a camp, and see what the light of day brought. Overnight, the night was peaceful, was quiet aside from the insects and the birds and the various assorted wilderness noises. But when you awaken in the morning, the humanoid is breathing much more steadily. You guys had a little bit of breakfast, and the day is yours.
Hey, Chris, quick question. How big is a saurian? Are they man-sized?
They're like within human parameters, but a little bit more bulky and a little bit more muscular.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
the ones that you dealt with were probably in like the 5.5 to 6 foot range. They do have tails, and very kind of crocodilian-like faces. But other than that, they are, within normal human parameters. Right number of eyes, no ears because they are lizard-type people, and
Right.
and they do seem to be developed enough that when they attacked you, they were using kind of bone and wood weapons.
Okay.
I
Is
think we got a trident out of them.
You did. One of them had a trident,
made of bone?
made out of bone and wood.
Do they have any clothes or harnesses or pouches? Or
They had like little, like very, very roughly made pouches, like not cured or anything. More like they just took the skin or pelt off of some sort of animal and kind of like tied a leather thong around it, and so it's a little bit kind of goopy, but functional.
still counts as a possession?
It does.
Might collect those.
I got something I'd like to do.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be a little grisly, but I don't care. I wanna try and I'm gonna cut open the leg because the leg's usually got the biggest bone in the body. And I want to try to take out the bone and clean it because I want to see if I can eventually maybe get this carved or something into that jester stick that I'm thinking of, and it could be my trophy too.
Okay. Yeah, with your healing skill, it's not too much of a problem. I mean, it's not like you're concerned about making sure the patient doesn't feel any pain or anything. So it's not
Oh
difficult.
no, goodness!
It's quite messy, but it is club like.
Yep.
For a halfling, it's probably almost long enough to use as a walking stick, even.
Yep. I was thinking it could be my version of a jester's stick down the road, and I could kabong people with it if I don't know if it needs to be reinforced, but
So as it is, it would function as like a kind of a light club, but somebody with some crafting skill and everything might be able to fancy it up a little bit.
all right, I'm gonna put it on with gear for now.
Yeah. If you go to the gear tab on Foundry, under melee
Yep.
weapons, just find light club and drag that over to your sheet, and you should be good to go.
Oh, sorry, where would I drag? Where would I go? Directory? Oh, in the directory. Items directory.
Yep. The little thing looks like a backpack or a satchel.
Yep, I see.
Perfect. All right. So you guys have all eaten and drank. You realize that your rations are probably not going to last you for terribly long. And your rescuee is, they're still fading in and out of consciousness, but they are stable and relatively awake.
Yeah, so Tristius during breakfast while we're eating, and I think I shared some of his food last session, but he's for the most part just as he typically is. His skin's pale, his eyes are wide, and he spends most of his time staring at the ground, and as close to Okatai as he can because Okatai is the biggest thing here. He's not like trying to push his way in dominance by any way towards this large thing, but he is very, very submissive. But he seems to be in a state of shock after using the magic that he used last session.
Okai deals with him like with an animal, like making sure you don't spook him and making sure he eats enough. But not speaking like a lot to him, just checking on him.
Yeah, he's clearly been through a thing. Whatever happened isn't something that it appears that he chose to do, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a bit of state of a shock at the moment.
Octopus is gonna raise an eyebrow and the halfling tried to get a bone out of the saurian. Like he's not gonna stop him. He's gonna keep eating, but the little one's feisty.
That was disgusting.
Well, it's disgusting right now, but eventually it'll look okay.
I'm just looking for saleable goods. Anything I think that was valuable. Not
Maybe we
perfectly
can sell
happy to split it
saurian
with
meat
the
to a
team.
butcher. Maybe we can sell saurian meat to a butcher.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm more into trinkets.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what to think of the village. The armor they sold us seems to be made with skins from people like that.
Sure.
Might be a good thing that we left.
Yeah, I'm not a butcher. I'm not a dealer in meat. Grains
Neither am
occasionally,
I. But
especially the fermented kinds, but
I'll try to hunt us
not
a deer.
not meat.
Try to hunt us a deer. There must be something like a deer around here. I don't think we're gonna set up camp permanently here, unless I'm mistaken.
No.
I keep on pushing to find a better place to set up camp. But I think we should try to hunt while we're on the road. Well, road.
Works. And he's hurt.
What?
Sorry.
The survivor, he's hurt. I'm not sure we can move him.
Might need to wait a bit. Anyone tried to speak with him yet? Know where he's from? Maybe we can get some information from around here from him.
Does anyone have any skill with healing?
I do not, but I got 4 empathy.
The feisty little one seems to be good with healing. Sorry, I did forget your name. Don't think we spoke much, little one.
Oh, Caldy? Me? I don't.
I remember you, but
Caldy
Risen,
Fig
is
at your
it?
service. At your service. I'm not particularly skilled in the healing arts. I could do what I can. And that is RP for my empathy is 4, but I healing of 0, which means probably somebody who can probably do this better than me.
But I think there
I
are
got
other
a
small
little bit of
ones.
healing.
Risen?
I got a
Risen.
little bit of healing. Basic.
It's more skill than I've got. I'm good at hurting people. Not so
Clearly.
much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was gonna eat one of us, I'm sure.
Sure. Eat or
We
be
should
eaten.
talk. We should talk later about a commission for a bodyguard position. But we can talk about it later.
I'm usually good at hunting down people, finding people, or finding things. Killing them if necessary.
Trestius is staying very, very small.
Does somebody need healing?
Oh, it's just of we're talking about the guy we rescued. We probably need
Oh,
a bit
okay, yeah.
of a bit
Yeah,
of
well,
work.
I healed one of the orcs.
Yep, he's healed.
That's
He's basically just semi-unconscious until people interact with him.
Right.
what do you need to do to interact with him? Like bring him water skin or something?
Or just go, hey, what's your name?
All right. Well, I'll bring the water skin and I will go. Hey, what's your name?
Slap him around.
So he kind of, his eyes kind of flutter, and he kind of, takes the water skin, takes a drink. Thank you. Kogan.
Caldy Fig at your service. And I'll point around to the party, and I will name everyone.
Hogan?
You made an enemy with the lizard, or were they just eating you because you were there?
And he kind of looks over. He kind of like sees his dead companion. He kind of like, you know, kind of raises the water skin to him slightly. It's like we Zuga and I encountered a hunting party. We're trying to lay low from them, but the damn things got our scent. So I suppose if you guys hadn't come along, he kind of like shudders a little bit.
Were they hunting you because you had like a grief with them, or just they're hunting for food?
Oh no, that's the first time we saw them. We've been on the road, Zaga and I, for probably 2 weeks or so. Luck would have it, we found these folks, and they must have been looking for food and thought we looked like food.
Yeah, they needed a bit of convincing that you were not.
Yeah. I mean, we did what we could, but neither. Well, Zuga wasn't much of a fighter, and I lost my sword about 5 or 6 days ago.
Does he have family? Do you have a base of operations?
No, our village got hit about 2 weeks ago, and everyone sort of scattered. Zuga and I headed in one direction, others headed in another. People kind of disappeared into the underbush.
Do you have a rough idea of the layout? Or is there a go-to spot where you can... I don't want to leave this man without his family being able to find him.
Well,
I assume we're burying him here. Finding a little monument for him so his family can visit, at least say a few prayers.
Zuga and I don't have much family, so... and I think he'd be happy just letting the jungle reclaim him.
Well, I'll respect your custom. Wrap me well and bury me when I die here.
Noted.
Bury me deep.
Noted.
I'd rather try to make it if.
Were you going somewhere?
We were really just trying to survive, seeing, maybe find others, maybe find another village we could, set up in. But
Yep. There's the M3 village where the boat dropped us that way, but we're going the opposite way. I'm trying to find a good spot to set up camp.
oh, well, there's lots of land, that's for sure. If there's a Saurian hunting party, I would imagine their village can't be more than a day or two, but couldn't tell you what direction they might be in.
Let's avoid that place for now.
That's probably a good idea.
We need to find a place we can defend, ideally with some water. Spring or some stuff.
There's some rivers further inland. I mean, it's a long ways inland. You could stay along the coast, but it's all salt water. Might be, if you're looking for like steady supply of water, good luck. Our village, we used to just collect the rain. It's pretty plentiful in the thicker woods.
I mean, we could survive with the rain for a while.
I assume the ocean is saltwater around us.
It is.
Yeah, I wonder if we could come up with some way to desalinate the water. There's some caveman technologies that do that. I guess that would be a survival role.
My two, sorry.
Well,
All right, when we find a stream, if it's drinkable or not, I'll make a survival roll to kind of build up one of those little fire, evaporate, let it drop into a different bowl kind of thing.
okay. He kind of like gets to his feet, and you can see like he's still feeling the effects of yesterday. I don't have much that I can repay you with.
You know things.
A little sketch of the area might help go a long way to repaying us.
As I see it right now, you got two choices. You can walk that way to get to the entrance village with the necromancer lady, or you can stick around and make yourself useful.
Well, I mean, if you've got a spare sword or something, I could, you know, travel with you for a bit anyway. But I'm not much of a woodsman. I do know if you head off and he gestures to the west. There's some thicker forest there. Might be some decent hunting. I don't know of any villages or anything that way. He gestures, kind of like following the path that you guys are on. Here, I'll move you guys over to the kind of the main jungle map. If you keep along this pathway here, it leads up probably about 2 days, maybe. There's some marshlands up there, swamp pits, that sort of thing, tar pits. I don't think the swamp water's drinkable. I mean, not unless you got a really, really strong gut.
Probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
You should avoid the swamp from my perspective. If we cannot find a water source, at least finding a place that is defendable so we can start something would be good. If you say there's a lot of rain in the forested area, maybe we could gather water this way.
Oh, there's no shortage of rain in the forests. Comes like clockwork.
To find a place that is a bit defendable.
Well, that really depends on what you're defending from.
Well, for now we've seen the lizard guy, the Saurian.
Yeah.
What else should I worry about?
Some of the Saurian hunting parties use large lizards, kind of like the way you or I would use like a hunting animal. There's some bigger game in the forest, that's for sure. Every once in a while, you'll run into folks that set up their own stake and don't take very kindly to strangers. Some of those folks are the sort that will take what they want from you, as opposed to, talk it out with people.
Yeah.
And probably 4 or 5 nights ago, when we were trying to get some sleep, Zug and I heard something monstrously huge crashing through the trees. Didn't get eyes on it, but from the sounds of it, I don't think we wanted to.
In this case, I think, considering what you said, defendable would be some place we can start setting up without being obvious. Because most of the things you mentioned, we might be better trying to not be seen by them than trying to like full-on force defend from them.
Maybe. I mean, before our village got attacked, we were set up. There's some mountains, but Zook and I ran a lot, and I don't know which way exactly. But that might work for you.
I think we should go away from the road if it leads into the marsh. I don't want to go to the marsh, but I don't know about you guys, but the marsh don't seem like a good plan for now. I cut like north through the forest, see if we can find a good spot. And we can lend a weapon to our friend here. It can make things all useful.
We know this island has giant reptiles on it, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I would think the marsh is where we would go to die.
West. If we go west into the forest, it's probably best.
We'll have plenty of wood, plenty of water. We just need a place where we can start building a little shack, something, and start hunting.
What makes you think west?
North is the marsh, and west is the forest. I choose the forest over the marsh.
And east is back to where we come from. So the only gamble that we don't know about is south.
South is back to the thing.
I thought it was east. Yeah, south east.
South is the town.
So north is the wood, west is the marsh. So east would be, we don't know. But that's following the coast, and following the coast will only get salt water, which sounds like a drag. We're gonna need food and water before long.
Forests are generally better for both. So I agree with your buddy.
And again, Trestus is being as small as he could be, even wincing when you talk towards him, right? He's just staring at the ground, eyes very wide. Like a real fighter flight instinct going on with him all the time, right?
Oh, I was going to say freeze, but sure.
Yeah, it's
Little
all
combination
When
of freeze and fawn going on there.
When you are not able to fight nor flight, you freeze.
You look as scared as Caldy actually feels and is trying to hide.
Pretty much, yeah.
What do you think? Want to take a chance with us, or want to go back to the village?
I feel like I owe you, so I'm quite happy to follow along if you'll have me.
I'll probably need more arms to build whatever, and well, we gotta hunt for food. Better, the more we are, the better.
And get this man a shield.
Then I need to start making those. Anybody got a spare weapon? I got a spare staff.
I might have a knife.
Once I advance to the next level with this little magic bag of mine, I will have all the weapons we need, as long as I have the willpower for it.
What?
Was wondering if anyone had a spare weapon that we could lend to our friend. I have a staff. Rizzle mentioned a knife.
The only
I
thing
can
I've got
either-
is my sword.
I can give him a knife or a throwing knife.
All I have is one knife.
I mean, my staff is pretty efficient in fight. Don't know what you're more comfortable with.
It's important to note as well that Caldy's knife is broken.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's got a bonus 0 on it, or the big red thing.
Yep.
Again, as I mentioned, if we can get me to second level with this bag of mine, I can, as long as I have the willpower, I can pull weapons out.
What?
Isn't
What?
that neat? It's a
In
TARDIS.
character. In
It's a
character.
TARDIS. In character.
What? What do you mean you can just pull things out of it?
Well, in character, that was Trevor talking. The character.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he doesn't have his ability yet, so he can't tell you that. But basically, what his ability is, whatever he needs, it's like Batman's utility belt. Whatever he particularly needs, he can pull out. But he needs 1 point of willpower for each silver it costs.
So yeah,
So right now, it's only trade goods. At second level, it adds weapons.
Oh, that's freaky.
yeah. So your little goblin peddler has like this massive backpack, like
Full of junk.
just
Pull it.
Full of trade goods right now.
full of crap.
I guess if something is not on the trade good list, it's not a trade good.
Correct.
Right.
Like I need white moss. I'll be looking for
That's
white
not a
moss.
trade good. I imagine that no list could be complete, but it would be up to GM decision. But if we come up with something that's not listed there, that's clearly a trade good. But I don't think white moss would be on that.
No.
It's one of my spell components.
Yep.
It's the one I need to fix yellow.
Yep. Things like white moss you can find when you go foraging for herbs and vegetables. So.
Okay, good.
All right. Kogan, he'll if somebody has a knife, he'll take that. He'll like whatever weapon you have, preferably melee, because like I'm more of a up close type of a fighter.
We have a staff and a knife. Are you more staff or more knife?
I'm really more sword, but whichever one.
I'll get a sword in time.
Yeah, whichever one you guys don't need, I'll take.
So who wants to give up a knife?
I only have a knife as a weapon, and it's basically like a chef's knife. It's not even a dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
No, we're
I've got a
talking about-
knife and I got 2 throwing knives, so I can always give him my melee knife if no one else wants to give up a knife.
I mean, I have a staff and I'm using a spear right now. I won't be using a staff and a spear at the same time. I don't mind.
Okay, well then give him one of the one you don't want to.
I just want to make sure everybody's able to defend themselves if we lend a weapon.
I want to make sure everybody's able to defend me.
I'll take the staff.
It's actually a good weapon.
So you can delete it off your character sheet. That way it doesn't count against your encumbrance, because encumbrance in this is very much a thing.
Oh, and
Yeah,
it's brutal.
I
too.
am very strong and I am a 7.5 on 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done anything, and I'm 7 of 8.
6.5 out of 8.
And that's with like complete starter gear.
That's why I wanted more people to own stuff, because we're gonna need it.
I have an ability that gives me a +2, which is good because I can only carry 6, including that.
Oh,
I'm at 9 out of 10.
I am decrepit.
You're itty bitty.
I'm itty bitty and old and slow.
It was at 7.5 out of 8 with the staff gun. I'm at 6.5 out of 8, so it's working. But we really need to start making weapons and working leather. before long. Keep people equipped.
And you guys will notice that Ryzen is like struggling under the weight of like his tent and his loot and his armor and all of that stuff.
Uh-huh. Need a pack animal or something.
Are you overbacked, Risen?
Am I what?
Are you overbacked?
Probably, but that's all right. I'll live for now.
Well, if it slows you down or something, say something.
So the way encumbrance works, just so you guys are aware, encumbrance, like I said, encumbrance in this, especially where it's survival based, is a thing.
Yeah, do you know is your weight that red number in the upper right on gear?
Yes, if it's red, that means you are overweight.
Yeah, it says I'm 7/4.
Yeah. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, you can carry 4 and you have 7.
Well, you're fixing that. What are we carrying? I could take 1.
So the way encumbrance works, just so everybody knows, because we ran into this in our game as well, and that's when everybody in our party picked up Pack Rat.
You guys, my phone's ringing. I'll be right back.
Okay. So whenever you want to run in combat, so whenever you want to actually move in combat, or whenever you set out to hike for a quarter day, you need to make an endurance roll. If you fail, you either have to drop what you're carrying or take 1 point of agility to keep going. So you can move, but it is going to wear you down over time.
How much can the orc carry?
He can carry, since he has no armor, he is currently at 1.5 out of 10.
So he can carry the 4 that we need for him to carry.
Absolutely, he can. Yes.
Perfect.
Spectacular.
And
Trust a complete stranger with our stuff. Sure.
Yeah, mule. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, he's half dead, so.
True.
yeah, he is actually surprisingly resilient. Orcs are renowned for their toughness.
I mean, they're not elves,
Yep.
but
But he is more than happy to pick up a couple of the tents or whatever, so you guys can kind of reconfigure things around.
Where does
All
it
right.
actually say the weight?
Basically, there's light, normal, tiny, light, normal, and heavy items.
Okay.
So you can carry double your strength in normal items.
Okay.
A light item counts as half. A heavy item counts as 2. And 10 tiny items count as 1. The kicker is whenever you have resources, so food, water, arrows, or torches, as long as you have any of those at all, it counts as 1 normal item.
Okay.
So if you've got food, water, arrows, and torches, that's 4 normal items worth of encumbrance you're carrying right there. I mean, on the plus side, they don't care if it's a D6 or a D12. It's all 1 item, but still, it adds up. But yes, he will kind of like shoulder things. Probably get him to carry a couple of the tents. Those are the heaviest things, and you can redistribute a few things here and there. Okay. And he looks towards. So far, it seems like Caldy's been doing most of the talking, so he'll look to Caldy as kind of the leader. So,
Welcome to Caldy's Crusaders.
it's not the worst name I've heard.
Oh, anyone's opposed to the north?
West.
West.
No.
You say
It's the
west? Why are you saying west?
North is a swamp. North is a swamp, so west. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's not do swamp. Swamp is where we die.
The hexagon is messing with my direction.
I hear they have frogs that are eat things bigger than me.
I say we
I don't
go.
want to get eaten by a frog.
Okatai,
Yes.
the Sorens.
Yeah.
I need you.
All right.
I
Well,
need their
has he
hands.
taken any?
You need what?
Their hands.
What?
It's better for everyone.
What do you know? Oh, God. Do I want to
So
ask?
you kind of
Do I want to ask?
shake
Do I
his head,
wanna know?
walk off, and he says, "Like I knew I was going to be in here with some bad people."
Do I want to know?
Why do you need their hands?
I don't want to know. I just want to know if I want to know. If
You
that
probably
makes
don't
sense.
want to
You want to
know.
know? What the fuck does that mean?
You did
I
the
want to know.
you did the thing with his hand and somebody like froze. I guess it's linked to that.
It makes you safer with me here. The magic just happens. It's not something I
Are
can.
you calling
Having
Maybe he
these
has a,
things makes the magic more stable.
maybe he has a hand fetish. Let's not judge.
Ew. And
I mean, the
I've
small
heard of
man.
people like that, but usually they like them attached.
all right, you guys do what you're gonna do. Cuddy? West? West sounds good.
West.
And
West
and
is
you
better.
guys can catch up when you've done whatever you're gonna do with the pile of things over there, and yeah,
Well-
we'll just kind of clear a path for you.
Yeah, let's go west.
Trustius is just all but tearing up, staring at the ground while you're talking like that, right? Like he's not
I hear you was
obviously
successful.
going, "Hey, I need components." He's like, "Oh God, I need components."
I'll need the butcher knife.
Everyone's looking at me. Why are they
I'll,
talking to
I'll ask Colby for the butcher knife.
That's the only knife I've got, but I'll give it to you, and it's broken.
Yeah, but it's a butcher knife. Like, if I need to cut a hand, it seems more appropriate than a spear.
It's a chef's knife, but take it.
I'll give it to you back in a sec.
Yeah. So when you look at this knife, like the blade is wonky. There are chips out of it. It's going to be a very messy job taking the hand off, but you can.
Trustius has a knife that he'll kind of hold up, still staring at the ground, hand shaking a little bit. Is like he just can't do it, right?
I'll take Prescott's knife. Like, damn it. And he's just gonna, like, cut hard. You got a bag for that?
Yeah, we'll find some bits.
No idea what
not putting them in my backpack? I have a line. That's
just,
where I draw it.
just keep it out of sight.
Desislava is going to start walking toward the west, looking for sword in one hand, shield in the other, kind of looking for trouble. I assume we've been chatting while we've been packing up.
Right.
Makes sense.
People were redistributing their loads and how much they could carry.
All right, so we're gonna harvest some stuff. I don't know what it takes to use a throwing knife to decapitate some Sorens, but we'll try that.
All right. It's gonna. Are you just taking their hands, or are you decapitating them? One of them is decapitated already. The head is just laying there on the ground.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that one.
I'm not cutting another head. You take the one that already cut. I can make you some hands, but heads is... We need a sword. Get me a sword and
Trustius is
I'll...
on head duty. And
Give me a
Okatai's
sword
on
and
hand
I'll
duty.
Give me a sword and I'll get you some heads, but I need a sword for that.
Meanwhile, and I'm sending a personal message. I'm going to walk off with Anita.
Okay. And as you guys are looking at this and using this like busted ass knife, Trustius, you do in fact have an axe.
Oh, we have a timber axe.
Why did you
That's
say so?
hilarious.
Give me the hack.
Trees, it'll probably cut back.
The guy's in shock, right? He's in a constant state of shock.
That's true.
Okatai
Guy's
is
looking over like, motherfucker, you got an axe. What are you doing?
Okatai is more like discouraged than like, fine, you need hands, I'll get you hands. I need strange stuff to do my shit. I get it, but this is disgusting.
All right. So you can get put down on your sheet. You have 4 hands. Treat them as a light item.
Okay.
And then they would be ingredients for one of your spells.
And then 2 heads.
And the heads are normal items.
Oh, well, we're going to spread some of that around. But...
I don't know if you have enough people to spread that around.
I ain't carrying that shit.
Wait, Chris, would the club be a normal weight item?
I believe the club is normal, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it. I just wasn't sure if it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of weight and bulkiness.
Right.
Right. Kogan is not willing to carry hands or heads. So,
Can't say I blame him, really.
Will he carry throwing knives?
sure.
So I can give him a couple of those. So what's the intent here? I just take a piece of gear and edit it?
You should be able to.
Or is there components somewhere?
There's no components, but if you go to your gear at the very top,
Yep.
you'll see it'll say gear, bonus, weight, and then a plus sign. You can just click the plus sign, and then it'll allow you to add on custom gear.
Oh, I can make one. Okay.
Yep. All right. So you guys take a couple of minutes after breakfast to gather up some body parts, and you are heading off to the west.
To the west. I sent you a message there, Chris.
The Jungle X that is not following the road.
Chris, you said hands were tiny?
Hands are light.
Oh, light.
Yeah.
This is not great.
Tiny is like a couple of coins. Like if you were just taking the fingers, they would be light.
I don't need over our light.
Oh, I need
Oh, sorry.
hands.
Fingers would be tiny. Hands are light. All right. So you guys head off. Who is going to lead the way and who's going to keep watch?
I'd lead the way if that's okay with people. I think I'm better at that.
Yeah. My keep watch is at night because I can see in the dark.
If anybody forage on the way, look for white moss for me.
You can't forage while you march.
Okay, so I'm gonna lead the way. I'll forage when we stop.
Okay.
And Buddy was taking a couple throwing knives?
Yep.
Are you adding that to his sheet so I can take it off mine? Or?
I will. Yeah.
Desi and Cully didn't get very far.
No, we had a conversation, and anybody who's paying attention just sees me drop some coins into her hand.
All right, 4 hands, 1 head. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So having gathered some body parts, you start heading off to the west. I will get Okatai to give me a survival roll for leading the way, and whoever is keeping watch can give me a scouting roll.
Gustavo, I think you're good at keeping watch while we walk, or
A quick reminder, if you double click the icon as the party, you can put yourself in your little spot. because Free League is awesome.
Yep, I did that. I like that function.
Ooh,
All right.
so I take it Okatai's up front.
Yep. He is leading the way into through the plains off the trail that leads to the Teneroa, and
Am I allowed? Sorry, go ahead.
and starting to lead deeper into like a thicker tree line, and eventually quite a like jungle like interior.
Okay. Can I drag myself over to forage along the way?
You can't forage while you march.
All right.
Who's our watch guy?
It's daytime, so we should wait before it's me.
I'll watch.
Anyone who has a good observation thingy.
A good witch.
Observation or
scouting.
I got 3 dice.
That's all I've got too.
Better than me. No, actually, I got 4 dice. So
I got 5 dice, but I'm leading the way.
Then Ryzen, you should be keeping watch.
okay, I can do that.
I mean, I know you're better at night, but I think you're better at day, apparently, too.
So I just click the scouting skill.
Yep.
Roll.
All right.
Is that 1 success?
Yep. Generally, one success is enough. So as you start to make your way into this deeper tree line, and it kind of closes in behind you, and it closes in all around you, and it's moderately dim. Like the canopy is very, very thick, and it's kind of like a little bit. Like the ground underneath your feet is a little bit on the soft side, just from the decaying plant life that has fallen and gone away, and the smell kind of hits you. It's like you can still smell the tang of the salt air. You're still fairly close to the coast, although you can no longer see it. You hear there's birds. There's definitely wildlife around. You hear periodically as you travel through the up until about lunchtime, you can hear things moving in the brush, but nothing that comes directly near you. Nothing that you spot. Nothing that you hear close enough to be a threat. But you guys do realize that it's probably going to be a little bit slower going, just due to the thickness of the canopy and the trees. A lot of picking your feet over bush, and right around, probably after traveling for about 4 hours or so, you can all hear like a kind of a low, repeating, rumbling sound. Anybody who is trained in survival recognizes that as the sound of thunder in the distance.
Yeah, the storms are brewing. We're gonna need to find a place to hide.
Start looking up.
Some overpass or something to weather the storm.
Have you ever seen the rain? We should.
While I was leading the way, I was looking for a spring so we could find a place to set up. But now I'm gonna start to look for a place where we could have a bit of cover.
Okay. So at this point, you have an option. You can, for the next quarter day, you can continue to travel, or you can explore the Hexure and see what you can find. See if you can find a place to shelter from the storm. See if you can do anything there. You can forage. You can hunt. You can rest. You can build camp. Basically, any of the options plus explore the Hexure Inn.
That
Depending
would
on
be
what you would
what
like
I'd
to do.
lean to.
And we,
But
what are you saying? Sorry.
So basically, the first quarter day is spent getting into this jungly area. So the next quarter day, you can continue marching on. You can you can't fish. There's no water. You can hunt. You can forage. You can rest. You can make camp, or you can explore the Hexure Inn.
What were you saying, Colby?
I lean towards exploring this hex.
Yep. I was gonna propose to explore the X. Is that an action we must do all together, or can we like explore while someone is foraging and stuff like that? And if we do that, can we stay together?
Basically, each person who does a thing is off on their own because the hex is about 6 miles around.
Okay.
So, if somebody's going foraging and something bad happens, then something bad happens to them.
Oh, Twilight 2K.
Yep.
What if two people go foraging together?
Then if something bad happens, it happens to both of them.
Well, that would be much
That
better.
sounds like a me and Caldy thing. I'll look for stuff up high, you look for stuff down low.
I'll look for stuff down low. You look for stuff all around us.
Okay, that sounds fair.
I was leaning on exploring the X. If you gotta go foraging, can you look for white moss for me?
Yes. Yes, we will forage. Hopefully find something a little tastier than leaves.
While you do that, I'm gonna go for exploring the X. Anybody coming along?
Yeah, I'll join you.
We want to set up camp too, right? In a place that we're not going to get deluged.
Well, we need to explore the X for us to find a place to set up camp.
All right, that works. Meet back here at a particular time and compare notes.
If Precious, do you have something specific you want to do? You want to follow us while we explore the X, so I don't leave you alone.
I'll stay with the orc and try to make some torches.
Okay.
Leave his hands alone.
Did he just sigh at you?
I knew I could bring him out of his shell.
There is an attitude in there. Okay. We can work with that.
Anger's the fastest way to recovery out of a shell shock, I've heard.
Okay.
And he just shrinks. Shrinks.
I'll be half a sec here. All right. So, who is going foraging?
Caldy with what's the name? Sorry,
Desislava.
Desislava. Yes.
You can call me
Oh,
Desi
I can
for
move
short,
people.
That's fine.
Sure. Caldy and Dizzy. Caldy is short for something that he's not even going to bother trying to pronounce. It's like 25 syllables.
All
It's
right.
not an explore thing. What would that be? Hike or?
Put it under. Just leave it under other, I guess. Just because the survey the hex is from a supplement that I found.
Okay.
All right. So for foraging, whichever one, basically, because you both can't forage, but one of you can help the other. So it is a survival roll. +1 for the jungle, but -1 because it's spring, so net 0. So one of you rolls survival, and because the other person is helping, you get a +1 modifier.
All right, let me take a look here at my talents. Lucky doesn't help. Nocturnal doesn't help because we're in the middle of the day. What about Sixth Sense? What does that get us?
Sixth Sense helps if you're about to be ambushed.
Well, let us know if we're going to be ambushed then. Other than that, all right. You said survival for looking, or what was it?
Survival for forage.
All right, my wits are 5 and my survival's 1.
You're better at it than I am.
Then let's do that.
Okay. So where it says modifier, just put in a +1 for Desislava's help.
What does that mean?
All right. So when you forage, essentially you find one root vegetable, basically one vegetable or herb per success you get. So you found either herbs or vegetable. The herb, I would let you find the white moss,
All right.
and then vegetables can be cooked and turned into food or eaten raw in place of rolling your food die. So you could push it if you wanted to get more successes at the risk of damaging to yourself.
I don't think I want to damage my wits or my scout or my survival. So I will. Well, I guess we'll just get the white moss.
Okay. Right. So you guys spend the afternoon, the early afternoon, kind of looking around. You do find a patch of the white moss. You're pretty sure this is what Okatai needs. It's kind of cool to the touch, but in a kind of like a medicinal coolness, like A535, as opposed to a frigid cold.
All right. All right. I'm good with that, and I can. It's pretty light, so I can carry as much as I need to.
Yep.
Yeah, and Caldy's just kind of disappointed. He was kind of hoping to find like pieces of ancient broken pottery or old coins or arrowheads or something. He was just trying to look for old civilization shit.
Right. And Okatai and Ryzen, you guys were kind of exploring the area where you were.
Yep, trying to find landmarks and stuff so we can find a place to set up, and maybe a water spring or something.
Okay. That is a scouting roll.
We should have switched. We should have switched party. I'm not good at scouting. I'm good at survival.
I got 4 dice.
I got 5 dice.
Okay, so maybe I should assist you then.
I'm not good at this. I only have 5 dice, he says.
Well, survival I got 8. So if we had switched, I think one of the in the foraging party has some scouting that I don't have. So it's modifier +1.
Yep. Ooh, that is a great roll.
Good roll.
All right.
So next time we know I can do foraging while people are scouting the X. Even if I was quite lucky this time.
I mean, making a survival guy in a survival game would be just silly.
Why would anyone want to do that?
It was one of my class skills, survival. So once I had bought my animal handling, where should I put my point?
I figured there were T-Rexes on this island, so I might as well make a weak guy. I bet strong guy's not going to work.
It's not going to matter yet.
There's T-Rex on this island, so I built myself an animal handling.
That's,
Not
now
strength.
that's smart.
Honestly, starting skill matters a lot more than I imagined when I created the character.
Yeah, your options for starting skills were really interesting.
All right. So as the two of you look around, you start like venturing like further and further from where everybody kind of dropped their packs and said, "Okay, this will be our meeting spot." Trustius
Colgan.
and Kogan are gonna wait there and see about making some torches or something. You can start circling a little bit of field. Both of you are pretty decent scouts, so to kind of like do your best to always keep your eye on the camp and know the right way so you don't get lost. And after about an hour or so away from the camp, and you can hear the distant rumble of thunder, and it's definitely getting closer. And there's like that breeze that kind of precedes a storm. You can hear the leaves rustling, and the leaves are starting to turn over to absorb the water. Both of you know that there's definitely a storm coming. You find a kind of a beaten down pathway through the underbrush. Looks like something fairly large has traveled through this area. Judging from the way the ground is kind of tramped down, it has traveled back and forth frequently. And okay, maybe there's a cave or something. You followed along, and you do in fact find a fairly sturdy looking cave that is. It's on like a little bit of a hill, and it's got kind of a slope to it, like a kind of a forward-facing slope. So if there was any water, it wouldn't rush into it. It looks like it would be great to protect you from the storm. The only downside is you are somewhat concerned about the scattered animal bones around the outside of it.
I think we found a spot to set up camp, but we'll need to evict the current owner.
And since you did roll so well, you guys, you kind of very cautiously take a look, take a listen. Doesn't currently seem to be anything residing in it.
Nobody.
Is there any evidence of scat, fecal matter, anything like that, suggesting an animal has been here recently?
Since you specifically looked for that, yes, there is what look like kind of like bone and fur pellets about the size of your hand.
Oh God. It's a tickle chicken.
Oh no!
Old chicken?
It's from our Conan game. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The viewers are like, "What the hell is he
God.
talking?"
Giant, feathery dinosaur with claws like a short sword.
Right.
Man. Yeah.
But yes, and the pellets by their nature are fairly dry to begin with, but they're by no means petrified or anything of that nature. Like when you kind of cautiously poke it with a stick or your saurian thigh or whatever, it does kind of crumple apart.
So it's fairly old.
Fairly
Not
old.
fresh.
It's not fresh, but it's not super old either.
What about track?
That would be a scouting roll.
Try that again.
Yeah, go ahead.
You do get +1 from Ryzen's help.
I'll gladly take it. That was quite useful last time, so let's see where it goes.
Oof.
The dice has not stopped moving for me yet. Oh, right.
Looks like 0-1 to me.
Yep. So you could push it.
Do we really want to know? I guess we do. Okay, I guess I'll
Well,
push it.
If we're gonna camp here, we probably do because we want to have as few surprises as possible.
We'll probably have to hunt whatever it is down, so.
Oh, all right. So yeah, so you do find some tracks, and they're at first you're not sure. You think you're tracking two separate animals, but then the tracks kind of like prove that it's only one animal. So like combination of like you find the tracks, and they're large. They're probably about a good 12 or 13 inches long, with like another 3 inch or so of claws. Definitely a quadruped. Fairly large from the size of the claws and the kind of the depth of the print. But the front paws, the claws seem to be more talon-like, as opposed to claw-like. And on some of the trees, kind of marking the path that this beast has traveled, you find fur scrapings and feathers.
Oh no.
Fur and fat.
Giant bird thing.
Oh, I know what he did.
There you go.
I know what he did. That's bad.
Well-
That's not good.
Yeah, no shit. Especially for the tiny ones.
Well, let's go back to camp.
I don't
Let's
know
go
the
back.
monsters in this world, but I'm thinking things like a griffin, a wyvern, or a dragon, or
Well, let's go back to camp and warn people and see what we do.
All right. On your way back to the camp, again, because you rolled 3 successes on that initial survey roll, you do notice that some of the trees that you pass seem to be kind of have like this like kind of viscous looking black oil kind of seeping out of them, like kind of covering the bark on some of these trees. Not many of them, but some. And you do notice around those particular trees, there is a disproportionate number of dead birds, lizards, bird skeletons, lizard skeletons. Oh, that looks like it might be a monkey skeleton, just kind of laying around the trunks of these trees.
Could that sap be poisonous?
If you have the lore skill, you can make a lore roll.
Yep. I'm gonna try it out.
I just want to point out of character that monkeys have hands. And they weigh less.
And they what? Sorry.
And they weigh less.
Ah.
Because carrying components is a pain in the ass.
Only monkey hand would work for you.
All right. One success. You've heard of this. It's definitely not something you want to use as firewood. But it is the sap of these particular trees is in fact toxic.
That's good to know. Could try to harvest some of that. Um, is it gooey enough for it to stick to stuff?
Not really. It's more the sort of thing like if you were to harvest some of this wood and then like make it into arrows, for example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then the sap would be concentrated enough. You could maybe try to harvest just the sap, but that would be time consuming and tedious.
If some of the stuff was coming out, I could just have rubbed my spear in it to poison the spear. But it's the actual wood that is poisonous.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna take notice of those three and probably come back to harvest some of it.
Perfect. All right. And finally, Trustius.
Yeah, we'll have Colgan keep watch. I'm trying to convert wood into torches
Okay.
because we don't have any. It looks like it's 1 wood quarter day to make a torch.
Yep. And that's
I
to make
assume
it makes like a die worth of torches.
Right, and I assume that's a craft roll or something.
It is.
As soon as I can find it, crafting.
It's under strength.
Yeah.
One of those.
Strangely.
You know what? You're giving me
No
that,
bonuses,
I'm
no
gonna say
nothing.
thank
Just
you.
make the roll. I'm going to push that.
Okay. Okay.
No
I'll
luck.
take the one.
Kogan's kind of keeping his eye open. He's like, you might not want to whittle that quite as much. I've always seen torches made with, oil and... Oh, never mind. You look like you know what you're doing. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut here.
Does that consume a wood?
It does.
Okay.
But yes, Kogan, he will, he's practicing with the staff. You can tell he's not used to fighting with the staff. But you can also tell that he has a fair amount of actual weapon training. So he's not just swinging around blindly at first. It's a lot of figuring where the balance point is on it and stuff, figuring how quickly it swings and all that sort of stuff. Enough for you to tell that he is, much like Desislava, he is a trained combatant.
That's good.
No more water.
And by the time everybody reconvenes, the rain has started to hit. It's now getting on into the evening. Do you guys have reconvened amongst yourselves? Feel free to discuss.
Well, we found the white moss.
Yep.
Well, if we break a arm or a leg, I can fix that with it.
Is that what that's for?
That's
That's
handy.
good to know. I would have looked harder if you told me that in advance.
Oh, if you find me white moss, I can fix you up.
We can look for more tomorrow.
We found a place where we could set up camp. We found a grotto, but it had been inhabited by a fairly big predator before. It was not there when we went there, but it probably will return at some point. So we'll probably have to hunt it if we want to take its place.
That sounds awful.
Quite big, and it has fur and feather.
And talons or something on the front.
Like bird talon on the front and like paws on the back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know if I like that.
Well,
I would not, but
its droppings are not super fresh, but they're not, rock hard. So it hasn't been around for a little while, but
might come back if it starts raining and thundering.
might come back if it's territorial and if this is its actual home or one of its homes.
But that's the
Well,
only
let's.
spot we found that's appropriate. We did find a tree that the wood of it is poisonous. If I could make some arrow out of that or like a pike out of that, probably can make some damage on something. I'm really keen on harvesting some of that.
That's cool. So, sorry, is this a grove or a little clearing, or is this like a cave with an overhang of some kind that you found?
It's more of a cave with the slope leads the water away from it, so it's not gonna fill with water if the rain drops.
Perfect. So how about we
Well-
set up a fire in front of the entrance to keep out?
We just need to be
Whatever.
prepared to fight whatever it is, because it's gonna come back at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm all out for fighting it. Depending on what it is, I might be able to calm it down and maybe try to tame it, but I highly doubt it. It seems too big for me.
We also don't know what it is, so.
Yeah. But we can just go take a spot and we'll have to fight it.
Assuming, it comes back or we encounter it at all, for all we know, we might be on our way unless you're proposing making this our base of operations and staying.
Well, I think we should harvest some of the stuff in the jungle and we can move away. Since we didn't find a water source, I think we should keep looking. Because harvesting the rain is awesome and all, but we don't have any bucket right now.
Yeah.
Like I'll make a little hole and try to get some water to pull in, but long term, if we could find a spring, that would be great. But I propose we stay there like a day or so, harvest a bit of stuff from the jungle before we move on, and we'll see if we have to fight that thing. What do you guys think?
Well, we do want the running water, that's for sure. I can pull a clay jug or even a barrel out of my bag right now if we need to.
I'll make a hole and try to pull some water from the rain and fill back some water skin. But we'll need to find a spring at some point.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Barrel.
Can I pull out the pieces of a barrel? Use my willpower to pull out the pieces of a barrel, quickly assemble it because I'm clever like that and I have good goods, and we'll use that to collect rainwater. It's 8 copper, so that'll cost me my willpower.
Yep.
All right, take a look at this, my fine people. And that's exactly what he does. He pulls out these little planks out of his bag, clicks them all together, little pieces of wrought iron with hinges, collects them together, and pops the bottom on, and suddenly we've got a waterproof barrel. He leaves the cover off so it can collect rainwater.
Oh, we won't want to carry that full of water, but to collect rainwater sounds like a great plan.
Right, and I'll have to look and see how heavy that is.
Desi's just staring in awe.
It is, in fact, a heavy item.
And heavy items cost what?
Heavy items count as 2 slots.
All right, that means I have to drop something medium. Unless we still have 2 slots left on our orc friend.
Kogan looks at it. It's like, Yeah, sure. I'll put the tents in it, and then I'll just carry it.
All right. And also, he said, Kolth says, I've got a lamp oil and a lantern, and I can see in the dark. I don't need this. Would anybody else like to carry these things? You can have them.
Didn't you already give me like torches too?
Yeah, I did. You asked for torches, so I
Yeah.
bought you torches.
I can't see in the dark.
Would you like a lamp oil and a lantern too?
That sounds like a good thing.
All right. In that case, I can carry my own barrel. Please add those to your list, and I'll drop them off mine.
You ready to stock a beast lair to cover up from the rain?
No?
Yep.
Yep.
I think we should start a fire outside of it to,
Yep.
because most animals don't like fire. I mean,
Most-
unless it's got some weird kind of intelligence going on. In addition to the fur and the feathers and the talons and the paws.
Well, before we get too wet and too cold, let's go set up camp.
You can hear it, but you can't
Whatever
talk on it.
whatever you think is best.
It's
Hmm?
Whatever you think
I
is
don't
best.
know. yeah. Okay.
Stay on your toes, we might need to defend ourselves.
All right. Following Okatai and Ryzen, you guys make your way through the jungle to where this cave is, and by the time you get there, like the rain is just coming down in sheets. It is pouring. You are drenched to the bone. I need everybody to give me endurance rolls.
Oof.
Endurance.
I'll push that, Chris.
Okay.
I don't have any endurance.
Yeah, I got a success. Sweet.
Oh no, I damaged my strength.
But you got the willpower.
I'm going to have to push mine, right?
If you do not want to be cold, yes.
And the conditions for cold are...
Oh, I'm gonna be cold.
I'm going to be cold too. And I take a will damage.
Yeah, it'll automatically do your damage and all of that stuff.
Okay. Well, it didn't give me anything. So it didn't hurt.
Oh, that's
I'm just
'cause-
cold.
It's because you didn't actually take any damage, so.
So I'll just click on cold for conditions.
Yep. When you are cold, you immediately take 1 point of damage to both strength and wits.
If I'm gonna take a point of damage to strength, I'm gonna put my endurance just in case.
Might as well, right?
Might as well, since I'm gonna take a point of damage to endurance if I push.
That was two, but
Now it's 2.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's either I'm full or I'm terrible, so yeah.
Immediately take 1 point of damage to both strength and wits. If you get really cold, like if your wits hits 0 as a result of this, you'll probably start to hallucinate and act irrationally. Like some people who get freezing cold actually feel like they're burning and will remove their clothing. You will need to keep rolling endurance at the same interval, so basically every quarter day, because you're not in like the freezing Arctic. And you cannot recover strength or wits until you have warmed up by a campfire.
Damn.
So yes, by the time you guys get to this cave, you are drenched to the bone. Even though it is a jungle, the rain and the wind and the fact that it's spring, like you can see Okatai and Cuddy are both, shivering a little bit. But you have arrived at the entrance to the cave, for which I have a map. Give me a sec.
Good thing we
For
planned
no
on starting a
specific,
fire.
for no specific reason, you have a map.
I literally just uploaded the map now because Foundry.
Yep. But yep, starting a fire seems to be precious. Do we
Is,
need to make them to start a fire?
Chris is making this trip a quarter day, or is it just part of the second?
It's part of the
Quarter.
evening because it's in the same hex.
So we're in the third quarter day now.
Yes, because your first quarter day was getting here. Your second quarter day was all the exploring, and now the third quarter day, as you get into evening, is this part.
Okay, so keeping watch is going to be a pain in the butt.
Yep, and setting up camp, and yes, all of those fun things.
Yeah.
Do we need to make camp before we can start a fire?
It depends on the purpose for starting the fire. If you're starting the fire to try to smoke out a creature, then that's just part of the exploring the area. But if you're setting up a campfire to get warm and all of that stuff, that is making camp.
Well, the point was to get warm, but also to have a fire at the entrance of the grotto to discourage anything from entering.
Yep.
So the point was to set the fire as soon as we get there, so we can avoid company.
Yep. Basically, at this point, if you set up camp, you would be setting up camp outside the cave.
Okay.
I don't think we want to do that.
Oh, I think we're gonna need to explore the cave first.
I love those tokens.
The playing around with GIMP to make things look like black and white line drawings worked really well.
As soon as I am able, I'm gonna put an arrow on my bow.
All right. So you are at the outskirts of this cave, and you guys can all see now. The ground is a little bit muddy underfoot because the rain is just coming down. On the plus side, it does make moving around quietly easier because the sounds, any incidental noise you might make, is drowned out by the sound of the rain hitting the leaves and the canopy of the jungle above you.
Well, do some people want to set up camp and I'll take a look inside the cave?
I think we want to set up camp in the cave, so we'll need to explore it to see if nobody's home before we can do that.
I can see in the dark, so I can go in with you in the cave, and I can hide pretty good.
And then whoever can set up a fire outside.
Setting up a camp is a quarter day. I think we want to set up camp inside the grotto, so we need to check the grotto first.
Yeah, setting up camp is more than just making a campfire. It's setting up your tents. It's making sure that you've got a dry place to sleep. It's collecting all the firewood. It's like everything.
So we have to clear the cave, right?
If your intent is to set up camp inside the cave, yes.
So I'm gonna take out my bow and I'll just put an arrow in it.
Okay.
Let's slowly pick up first, and we can follow behind.
So as you look around, there does seem to be 2 entrances into the cave. Have a second. I'm gonna put on my pings module.
There are 2 entrances. Well, you don't need to sneak up with your barrel. Just leave it outside and let it like start gathering rain.
So yes, so there's 1 cave entrance here.
Oh, bear cave.
And 1 entrance there.
Okay, so north and south.
And the one to the north does look like it's a little bit wider. The one to the north looks more like it's like kind of the natural cave entrance, and the one kind of to the south looks more like it's just where erosion and stuff has kind of worn away an opening.
Maybe we should send our scout in the Warner Way place, see if we can sneak up on anything that might be there. If there is anything.
I think some of us should go in one way and some of us should go in the other.
That's the way of doing stuff.
Trustees is staying
Oh.
next to Okadai.
If something's in there, it's going to get pinned between us, right?
Yep.
Instead of, sneaking up behind us and biting us on the ass.
So if it's you want to take one side and I can take another with Corgan interested.
Yeah, Culdy and I'll take the north side.
We're gonna split up.
Yep. Culdy and
Okay.
I'll take the north. Okatai and I imagine Tristus is going with him. Take the south and then... Or you can come north with us. I'm fine with that.
He's dang next to the giant werewolf. Thanks.
Hopefully we don't get lost and we actually meet up.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah.
That's the best case scenario.
We should know within... hopefully 50 feet or so. I mean, we're gonna have a lantern. I don't know how you guys are about seeing in the dark.
I have a lantern too.
I can see in the dark.
Right, but I can't.
Only you
So
might
if we put a
want
lantern-
to. Probably you might want to go a little bit in advance before this is lava.
Hell no.
That's not what I get paid for. No, I'll go in first.
Fine.
But that way, you should be able to see my light when you guys go in, or I'll be able to see yours. Hopefully. Or Culding will be able to see yours if I can't. Maybe.
I'll put my lantern on. You can put yours on, and only whatever's in there doesn't have a light.
Probably not.
One sec here.
Best case, there's nothing in there.
Here's hoping. But it wouldn't be much of a role-playing game if nothing was in there.
It happens all the time in an RPG.
There might be nothing in there, but if there's nothing in there, we're gonna set up camp and it's gonna come back home.
Right. So Desislava turns on the lantern. Who else is turning on the lantern?
I turn mine on.
All right. You guys light up your lanterns. Start making your way towards your respective entrances.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to move yourself around.
We're following
As
Kogan,
far as
so
we know.
All right,
Sorry,
Desislava.
where are these entrances? Ah,
Desislava, as you get probably 10 or 15 feet inside the cave, your lantern catches a very large furred and feathered shape that seems to be kind of curled up at the back end of the cave, kind of furthest away from the entranceway.
I'm going to, with the hand that's got the sword in it, just kind of wave back, trying to warn Caldy not to come through, and start backing up.
All right. I will get between you, Korgar, and Okatai, whoever is worst at stealth.
I'm glad my name wasn't part of that.
It's only the people who have actually kind of gone in.
We're probably gonna regret it if it's me.
My stealth is 4.
So's mine.
Corgan has a 4 as well. Corgan.
so Anita gets to roll.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
a tie.
We're dead.
Who else needed to roll?
So it's Corgan, Okatai, and Desislava, and they all have a 4. So you guys can choose who rolls. Of the
Tie
PC.
goes to Anita.
Just fishing for trouble.
He is, isn't he? Because I have horrible dice luck. That's
I'm
bad.
outside the cave. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're due, Anita. You're due.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm due for a beating.
Do you want me to roll so I can take the blame?
Nah, I'll roll it.
It's
I'll
more
take
fun
the
if she
blame.
does it.
It sure is. Waiting dice.
Oh, I tell you.
you got this.
Oh, well, look at you.
All right. So you kind of start to sneak into the cave, and your lantern kind of catches this large, and it's large. It's like the size of a bear, but it is both furred and feathered, and it seems to be nestled up at the far side of the cave. And you just kind of very carefully start to back up, and back up, and it does not seem to notice you.
Is this where animal handling comes in? Can we tame this thing?
It is not an animal. It is in fact a monster.
Oh, is it a monster?
Yeah, you didn't see that picture. It's not a Yuta at all.
I cannot try to tame it.
The monster keyword triggers an awful lot of abilities and spells and whatnot.
Not for me.
Well, not for you, but
All it triggers for me is hide.
Yep. A little bit.
We convene outside, and okay, the beast is home. How do we deal with that?
Well,
Here we go. I'll show you guys what you saw.
oh, yeah, that's not terrifying at all.
is it a bear or is it an owl?
And
Yeah.
It,
A little column A, a little column B.
The worst of both worlds.
It is a D&D classic that does not get enough love.
Let's
It
call
does
it a
not.
bear hole. Let's call it a bear hole.
Barrel.
In honor of the barrel that
There we go.
Cody just brought up.
So here's a thought. We only know about these two ways in or out. So how about we smoke it or cook it inside?
Would it be easier to fight that thing outside, you think?
No, we're gonna light a fire at both entrances. Like light a fire just inside or throw fire inside both entrances at the same time.
I mean, we can try that.
There was a fire ages ago, and people died without the fire itself ever touching them. So the smoke is what killed them. So how about we try to kill it with smoke? And even if that doesn't work, at least it's got to come out through fire with fur and feathers to get to us. Yeah?
Everything's wet.
Yeah, we'll try.
Everything
We could,
wet out here. I suppose that might make it a little hard to start a fire. We can try. We've got oils.
It's all the oil we have.
And I'm okay with just falling back to the torches if it kills the thing inside. Without, any of us getting our limbs torn off.
I'll try to start a fire. See how it goes.
I don't know about you, but I need both hands. One for shield, one for sword. I need both legs, because otherwise I'm not going far.
Trestius just looks at the ground. He's got
My
four
head is
hands strapped to his belt.
And my head is occasionally useful.
Got one of those too.
So I need to keep my parts, and Goldie here wants me to keep his alive too. So that's the idea I've got. If somebody's got a better one, I mean, you've got poisonous sticks or something, right? That you found?
Yeah, but I'll need to go cut down a tree and make stuff out of it for it to work.
Well, that's sleeping, as far as I can tell.
We're
Well,
going
the
to
best idea
freeze
right now is
before-
set fires at both mouths of the cave.
Let's try to start a fire and then we can throw some of the fire next to the entrance of the cave. But we need to try to make a fire while it rains. So let's see what we can do. Let's try to make a fire and we'll go from if it works or not.
Well, you can try to make the fire inside the cave.
Without waking the thing up.
Depends on how loud you are when you're starting a fire. I mean, do you talk to it?
I'm gonna try to do it discreetly, but be prepared for it to move or anything.
Quick question, Chris.
Yep.
Are we spending a quarter day to do this, or?
The way exploration works is essentially this entire encounter is the evening.
It's the number 3. Okay.
Yep. That way you're not breaking down into going like, oh, we only spent like an hour doing this, and an hour. No. The whole thing, all the planning, probably the recovery, so on and so forth, will take the quarter day.
Okay.
I could also go take the wood axe and go try to cut some of the poison tree and make some poison arrow to try to kill that thing.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take more than a quarter day because cutting the tree is a quarter day and then making something out of it would be another quarter day. I think.
Yeah, by the time you chop down some trees and get it made into arrows and everything, you are well into nighttime.
Yeah.
I think we have to get warm.
Yep, let's try to make a fire.
Or if he's worried about being warm, we could just go fuck off somewhere else. Set up tents. Mine's big enough he can sleep in there while I'm on watch. Or Caldy can, or whatever.
I should sleep because you'll want me watching at night.
Oh yeah, big time. You don't want me doing that shit. But, and then we can come back tomorrow and try to smoke this thing out. If it's still there. And if it's not still there, then who the fuck knows where it's going to be. It might be eating us.
That's right. You're right. We could just go fuck off somewhere else and just plant tents. In our scouting, did we find any place that could be correct to plant tents?
Yeah, there's some clearings here and there, or like trees that you can string up your tents between and all that sort of thing. So that really comes down to how well you roll on the making camp roll. But there is space. You don't have to hunt around for it.
So we spent the quarter day to find this cave and this thing, and in this game, a quarter day is a big deal. Probably want to take it. We've already skipped the point that we have somebody sleeping so they can watch overnight. So we're dealing with fatigue already.
I mean, we can try to make the fire to smoke it out. Probably got to be complicated with the rain, but
That's what oil's for.
I guess it's a survival roll if we want to try to make that fire.
It is a survival roll. Trustius does have flint and steel.
Yes,
Pretty sure you do.
I do.
You
So that would give you a +1. It's -2 modifier because of the wetness of the surroundings. So it would be a net minus.
-1.
Yeah. So it'd be -2 skill dice, but +1 gear die.
So 6 dice to do that because of my wit damage. Anyone's better than me for that?
Nope.
Hell no.
So put
+1 for gear, -2.
exactly.
Yeah, because
So
the
that
dice
means-
matter. Which dice is which?
Yeah, because that matters.
Well, I'm inputting all of the things.
Can't quite get it to light.
I think we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way.
You could.
I can try to push it.
Yep.
Let's see how it goes.
The old-fashioned way to lob a fireball.
All right. So
I'm not that kind of wizard.
So you're trying to get this lit. You're trying to get this lit. It's just not, and it's like wet, and it's like, so you take like, I mean, you don't want to use up your oil because that's a pretty precious resource, but you end up having to use like just a little bit of it, and finally it catches. Because you succeeded, you can get both fires going. You don't have to roll separately for each one.
Right. That's the thing of making a bigger one and taking like flaming logs to start up the two fires or something like that.
Perfect. And on the plus side, because the wood is wet, it does smoke a lot.
Excellent.
And after, 5 minutes,
I put my bow in hand and I'm preparing to shoot whatever's come out of there.
if everybody would like to place themselves where they would like to be expecting something to perhaps come out, feel free to do so.
Look, be well hid.
Those of you that would like to like hide in like some underbush and stuff can definitely give me stealth rolls.
I like the sound of that.
I'm gonna move a bit back so I can shoot whatever entrance he comes out of.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna push that. All right, so I lost an agility. My agility is basically 0 now.
Is your agility 0?
Yeah.
Okay. So agility 0 means you get so tripped up that, and you're like freezing cold. You're essentially broken, which means you cannot take any actions until somebody does something to restore some agility to you.
But I made my success to hide, right?
You did.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Because I wasn't going to do anything anyway.
You said stealth?
Yes.
I'll push, I suppose. Tabernacle. Oh.
Okay. All right. So everybody's kind of hiding in the bushes, and you guys look over, and you can tell that Caldy is not doing well. Like his teeth are chattering. He seems to be hidden, but he's definitely not doing well at all. The good news is you only roll criticals if it's your strength or your wits that hit 0, not your agility or your empathy.
Oh, nice.
So you can't take any action, but you don't have to roll for a critical. I will point out though that if he does not get warmed up and fails that next endurance roll and loses a point of agility, he will probably die.
Oh, geez.
So either getting him somewhat healed or getting a fire is now super critical.
But does his bag stay?
It does, but nobody can unpack anything from it. So
Right.
because it is a professional talent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So people jump into some bushes there. Korgan and Desislava kind of take up position at the entrances.
Wanted to be able to shoot whenever entrances we decide to come out of.
Yep. You've got eyes on both entrances. I'm just gonna kind of drop a zone marker there. So basically, there's 2 outside zones.
Yep.
And Desislava, give me a scouting roll.
Oh dear. Or not. I'll try pushing it.
Okay.
Oh, well, that was bad.
All right. So you see this thing basically come just like barreling out, and it's coming at you so fast that you don't even get really a chance to react. Essentially, if you'd succeeded on the scouting roll, you would have been able to hold it inside the cave, but as it is, it just kind of pushes past you.
Yep.
It doesn't attack you or anything, and it does run through the fire.
Oh, we're on the wrong side of Katai.
It is a little bit on fire.
A little bit on fire?
It is a little bit on fire.
Stupid flammable feathers.
I'm really hoping for a lot of it on fire, but a little bit will do, I guess.
You say that now until it's giving you fiery bear hugs.
All right.
It might give me fiery owl hugs.
And everybody can draw for initiative.
Oh God, here we go. This game
Am I
is
sitting this
so
one out?
deadly.
You're going on a 7, so you might as well be sitting it out.
Yeah, low is good in this one, right?
Low is good.
Ty's got a 1. And we could trade in this one, right?
You can't. I just need Mark to draw initiative.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
How do we roll initiative again? Is it under combat?
Draw a
It's
card.
just on your hotbar. There's the little deck of cards with the up arrow.
Yep. How many initiative do I want to draw?
Just one. There are talents that let you draw more than one.
Okay.
And they are awesome.
They are.
Good.
All right. So Ryzen and Okatai are both on 1. The Owlbear is on 2. Desislava is on 4. Trustius is on 5. Caldi is on 7. And for some reason I misspelled his name. Kogan is on 9. You guys can trade amongst yourselves if you would like.
I'm willing to give my 1 to somebody else.
Des?
Maybe Desislava, if he's next to the bear, might want to act before it acts.
Sure.
Does someone have a ranged attack? Because I don't.
I have a ranged attack. I am about to throw an arrow in his ass.
I got a throwing knife.
But I'm already at 1.
Already. Never
I'm
mind.
already at
Des, your whole build's kind of defender, right?
Yes. Does someone else have? Risen has a.
Well, throwing knives.
It's more ranged than my sword is.
I mean, I can go ahead and throw it and see how it goes.
I mean, you might as well keep it.
Yeah.
If you've got ranged attacks, use them first.
Just as a note, just so you guys are aware, tactical, because this is like your first kind of like boss type fight. If you engage it in melee and it wants to move away from you, it needs to succeed in a move roll to do so. Otherwise, it can't. So you can kind of lock it down if you close with it first. And then because it is an actual monster and not an animal, it has a list of 6 different attacks, and I will roll randomly to see what attack it does. And some of the attacks are much worse than others. Tactically, it is probably better to get Desislava to close with it and try to lock it down, rather than letting it rampage around the battlefield.
All right. I will do that then.
Risen, do you want to switch with Desislava?
Sure.
So he's going on a 4 now.
Yep. And to let you guys know as well, when you're in melee combat, there is a melee option called Fate, which lets you switch your initiative with your opponent's initiative.
Oh, that's cool.
Alright.
Good to know. I like that.
Okay. Okatai and Desislava, you guys can decide who's going first.
What if I go first and I throw an arrow before you close with it, so there's no chance I hit you? I don't know if friendly fire is a thing, but tactically it seems like a plan.
Friendly fire is not really a thing. Like, if you rolled like a shitload of 1s and no successes, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But the game is dangerous enough without that added complication.
Does me locking it down make it easier for him to hit?
No, it does not.
Okay. So it really doesn't matter
Yep.
then. Go for it. Maybe you can show my dice how to roll.
They don't listen.
Or I could take the bad roll from you, maybe if we're lucky. Marksmanship. Do I roll marksmanship or do I roll my weapon?
Roll your weapon because it'll include in your gear bonus. And if you like, normally you have to use a fast action to ready an arrow and then fire.
Yep.
Because you've already readied, you could use the aim fast action, which would give you a +1.
I will. I will. Won't be long. The computer takes a bit of time to react to things.
Interesting note. Necromancy can't fuck with monsters. They only mess with humanoids.
It depends on the necromancy, but yes.
How it can come out of fun gear.
I was very confident for a second, and I am less confident now.
And that being said, there are some monsters that would still technically be humanoids. Like if you ran into something like if I translated over gnolls or something.
Right, yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna push that.
Okay. All right, Desislava.
Okay, how do I go about locking it down?
So you would need use your fast action to move into arm's reach.
Okay.
Was aiming just a 1d6 more?
Yep.
Because I forgot to put in the modifier. I'm just gonna roll a d6 see if it actually hits.
Yeah, may as well.
Nope. It was a long cut. But you may go, this is Lava. I'm done trying stuff.
Done trying. Okay, so I move in closer.
Yep. And then the way it works, it's like if it tries to move away from you and fails the move roll, you get a free attack, just like an attack of opportunity in D&D.
Oh, that's neat. So do I get to attack it now as well? 'Cause
Yep.
That was just fast action.
Yep.
Okay.
You still have your slow action with your sword.
Alrighty. I will take a swing at it.
As a note, you won't have any actions left to defend with, but
Well, that's why I was speaking on the Discord last time of the talent that allows you to have a free parry every turn.
yep.
Yeah, I don't have enough XP to get one yet. Or to get that one yet.
I'm going to get that one so we can train together.
Okay, I'll wait until it tries to move away.
Okay. So you're kind of getting your sword up ready to defend, since you don't actually have a shield.
Yes, I do.
Do you? Oh,
Yes,
that's right.
I
You
have
did. That's right. You did pick up a shield, right? Part of the outfitting
Mag-
from Caldy's magnifying glass.
Yeah, that was clutch.
I hope you remember him well.
Alrighty.
I'll make sure you live.
You're not making this endurance roll for me.
No, it's probably for the best if I don't.
Sweeping attack. The Albert rises suddenly. Its claws sweep out in a wide arc, hitting everything in its path.
Ouch.
Good thing I kept that for the parry.
So that hits. It hits everything in arm's reach, which thankfully right now is only one person.
And I get to try to parry, right?
You do.
Excellent.
And it is a. It was a slashing attack. Half a sec, because there are some modifiers at play.
Okay.
So you are parrying with a shield against the slash, no modifier.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
All right. But you do get your shield up there in front of its claws as it like rears back, and it's huge when it stands on its back legs. It towers over you by about a good like 2 feet, and it brings those claws down, and you get your shield up, and just kind of the force of it almost draws you to your knees, but your shield holds.
Good thing.
That will take us to Ryzen.
Ryzen.
Might be AFK.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm right after Ryzen, so I might as well do mine.
Yep, may as well.
So is this fast and slow attacks kind of thing?
Yep,
So I can attack and then move.
you can.
Okay, so I'm going to do a throwing knife
Okay.
because this is near, right?
Yep, nearest same zone.
Okay. If I remember, I can just click on my knife.
Yeah, under the combat tab.
And no bonuses or nothing.
Nope. That's a hit.
I'm happy with that. I don't think I want to push something that's going to be terrible.
Alright, so your knife sinks into this creature. It lets out like this horrifying, shrieking, growling sound.
And then I can move within what, one zone?
One zone.
So like there's okay?
Yep.
Because behind big giant orc is good.
I guess.
Okay. Right. Right. And you're up there, Mark, if you're there. Not sure if he's there or not.
I lost Mark.
He's still on the chat, but he's not responding.
Oh, we'll continue on here. Kuldi is very, very broken at the moment.
Maybe Mark can go help Colt.
Yeah. Let's see what's his best option here. Actually, Kuldi's actually broken, so his best bet's probably just healing.
Probably.
It's your agility, so it's a healing roll. Oh. Yeah.
What do you do? Kill me?
Don't push that. Don't push that.
Yeah, no, but he rolled three ones on the healing.
Ah! The fuck?
That is not a roll worth pushing at all.
Am I rolling an endurance thing?
Nope. You don't have to make an endurance to the next quarter day. You just need somebody to be able to get you up onto your feet.
Okay.
Okay, Kogan. Staff has a range of near.
Yep, I love the staff, honestly.
So he's gonna move closer and then swing that staff.
Staff has great keyword.
Oh, that's a good hit.
Armor's out. The Albert's armor takes it. It's like the only good armor roll I've ever made in any of these games.
The roll you get yourself.
Right. Back around to Okatai and Tessaslava.
I'm gonna try again to shoot an arrow. I think I need to use a fast action to ready my action and then I shoot.
Yep.
So no more aim bonus.
And then after you shoot, click the resource die for your arrows to make sure you don't run out.
I need to roll it every time I shoot.
Every time you shoot. That's why I go through so many arrows in the game I play. Hundreds of arrows.
I'm gonna do that just after rolling for that.
Oh, that's a good hit.
Yep.
So that arrow finds its mark. It is definitely between the knife and the staff and the arrow. It is definitely starting to feel it a bit.
And my arrow don't drop.
Perfect. Desislava, you are up.
I'm going to. If I try to slash it, I don't get to parry, do I?
Parry is a fast action, so
Oh, perfect. I will try to slash it then.
okay. It's one of those things. If you're confident that you're going to hit it, you could also use your fast action to swing, which would increase your damage.
Ah. I'll try to push.
Okay.
Ooh, it actually worked for a change.
All right. So as it turns to face down, like where this arrow just hit it, you take the opportunity to drag your sword like across its back section. Feather and fur go tearing off. It's looking hurt. Ooh, that is going to be a paw strike against you, Desislava.
I would like to parry.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Yep. So again, you get the shield, and there's like this clanging sound as that massive like winged paw thing connects with the shield.
There are way too many claws on that thing.
I'm not sure if Mark's back yet. Oh, he will try the healing again. There we go. So that will heal 2 points of agility on Caldi.
2 points of agility?
2 points of agility.
That's all I have.
There you go.
Nice.
So Ryzen's like, come on, get up. I don't know what you're going to
Rub
do.
the arms, rub the arms.
I don't know what you're going to do, but we need you.
Do my dishes. Wait, what? Where am I?
Dishes.
Trustius.
Get
This
ahead,
is so not my fight.
Smith.
So Kogan and Desislava are both in melee, right?
Kogan he's like standing a little bit back because he has the staff.
I'm right up close.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I can move here.
Yep.
Oh, and I don't have another dagger.
No, the orcs got them.
Orc down. So I don't want to move there. Oh, what are my options? I don't have any options. Survival
Yes,
games when you
yeah.
start, right? Okay, so I can move there and then move into melee. That would be my thing, right?
It would, yeah.
Okay,
That
I'll
was
do
on
that.
our coastline.
Okay. Kuldi, you're up.
I can do stuff now.
You can.
I don't really have anything I can do. I gave my knife away, so I have no weapon. So I'm just going to stay hidden.
Okay.
Unless there's like a cheer you on ability in the game.
I would allow you to assist someone, which would give him a +1 die. You just have to determine who you're assisting.
Oh, Desislavia, of course.
Okay. Kogan. Well. He rolls a lot of dice.
It's not bad.
Okay. Back around to Okatai and Desislava.
Let's try to put another arrow in his butt. But yeah, if we roll the arrow dice every time, I definitely get why you go through so much arrow.
Uh-huh.
That's a hit.
That's the hit.
I had one good armor
Damn.
roll.
It's actually the damage. Well, getting 6 on 2 dice is not easy. So yeah, that was a ready action, and then that was a shoot action. So my arrow dice dropped.
Yeah, and it should do that automatically for you too.
Yep, it did. It did.
Yeah, there's a lot of automation built into the system.
It's so good.
Desislava.
I'm gonna take another swing at it.
All right. So
You get my bonus, right?
so you do have the option to use your fast action to swing, which will increase your damage by 1, but it'll leave you vulnerable if it attacks.
No thanks, because every single time it has attacked me.
Okay.
I mean, not that I blame it. I'm right there.
Okay. But you do have a +1 modifier from Kuldi.
Sweet. Thank you.
That's good. That's a hit.
That's a hit.
This thing is looking angry now. Who's it going to focus on? It is going to focus on Desislava because she is the one that has
Of
been.
course it is.
She has done
'Cause
far more damage than this like spindly little elf that has gotten up there.
She's the defender, right? So we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, a screeching roar.
That's freaky.
So everybody within near range, so everybody in the zone,
I can't parry that.
needs to make an insight roll.
Insight.
Oh, that's
That-
different.
So everybody in this little square, that if we can see the icon, we make that roll.
No, everybody in the zone. So you and Ryzen are on the other side.
Well, that's terrible because I'm awesome at insight. It's one of the few things I got.
I'm not.
I'd be alright if my wits was not so damaged.
Wait, did I succeed?
Looks like.
You did.
Oh, I shouldn't have pushed that.
Oh no.
We don't need no sticking shield.
I'm really only at home in a fight, apparently.
Strangely got it.
The strange thing with pushing is that you need to push to get willpower. Willpower powers spells, right? So
But right now I'm at 8 willpower. That's gonna be fine. I don't want to push it too much.
All right. So anybody who failed takes 1 wits damage.
I think we're all good.
Okay. Ryzen is up if Mark's back.
Yep. Sorry, I nodded off.
Oh, no worries. So over the last couple turns, you basically got Caldy back up on his feet.
Okay.
The owlbear is looking quite injured at this point. Trustius and Desislav has kind of got it in a pincher maneuver, and Kogan is basically poking at it with the quarterstaff. So it's looking like it's pretty locked down where it is, in case you wanted to get closer to like throw a knife at it or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Where am I? I don't know. Where exactly is the bear?
It's the
Next- that cluster of humanity over there.
yep. It's the
Yeah.
big one in the middle.
It's the quarter in the middle of the dimes.
Yeah.
Okay. So how close should I get?
You
That'll.
you basically just have to be in the same zone, so you just have to kind of like step over that white line there.
That it?
That's it.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Click on the knife.
Yep. Knife just goes flying, lands in the mud somewhere near Desislava.
Okay.
Trustius, you are up and in close quarters with this beastie.
Oh yeah, exactly where the sorcerer should be.
Exactly where a sorcerer should be. In hand-to-hand combat with a monster.
That's
Now
what you
my
get for not
magic-
playing the thief, Tony.
My magic doesn't work on this, so I will stab it with my knife.
Okay.
Is there a bonus for flanking?
No.
Just straight up roll.
Straight up roll. Like there would be a bonus if if Desislava gave up her action to help you.
I'm happy with a hit. I'm happier with that roll.
You can see now it's bleeding from various places. It's got like pokes in it. It's got 2 arrows sticking out of it. It's got like a big sword gash through it. This creature, you have the feeling if the two of you didn't have it like kind of pinned here, it would probably flee. Right now, it is literally fighting for its life. Caldy, you're up.
Again, I'm just gonna keep cheering on Desi and stay out of trouble because again, 72-year-old goblin with no weapons.
You're Rob Schneider. You're like, you can do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
is there
God.
a roll I could make to get that? I did lose a point of will.
You can't. Only if you're actually broken.
Okay,
Magical healing can restore that.
right.
But,
Sorry, it was wits.
Yeah. But mundane healing requires you to actually be broken. So,
Okay.
like, if you completely lost your mind and didn't completely snap as a result of it, then somebody could try to fix that.
No problem.
Kogan. He's a big fan.
Come on, big guy.
Oh, nice.
Imagine if we had managed to save the 2 orcs.
Yeah, still does something.
All right, back around to Okatai and Desislava.
I'm gonna try again to put an arrow in it. So fast
Okay.
action to ready, and then marksman hit.
Yep.
And I need to do it in the combat grid, so I get the weapon. Sorry. I'm getting the hang of this. Slowly.
Yep. Oof, nice shot.
Ooh.
Oh hell, yeah, great.
All right, so Okatai, how would you like to do this?
Oh, there. This is Slava and our new friend. I need to see the screen.
Kogan.
Please, computer. Kogan. Kogan are keeping the beast occupied, and when we get a closer shot and the window, Okatai is gonna shoot an arrow through his eye and poke it in the brain and make it drop.
So yeah, so as this big creature kind of like rears back to basically slam its claws into both Trestius and Desi, it rears back and you see your moment and you let the arrow fly right into its eye, and it just like as it's rearing back, it just kind of stiffens right up and then collapses. It is dead.
Okatai is gonna put a knee on the ground. God, hit fire down. We need to bring some fire inside. I'm freezing here.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone's
open
all
the
right.
belly and crawl into it for warmth.
Caldy, you okay?
5 by 5.
I'm gonna cook that thing. I'm not gonna sleep in it. I'm gonna cook that thing. Make a coat out of it.
She gives him a look, gives Trestius a look, gives him a look. Okay, I'm gonna set up a tent.
Trestius is looking at his feet.
It's a bear. It's a bird.
Bad
I
influence.
don't know if it's gonna be white meat or red meat, but we can try to cook it.
Maybe it'll be duck. Duck is a red meat.
Duck
a bird.
is a bird red meat. Fine, it's gonna taste like duck.
The only time I had it tastes like vodka.
Let's get inside. Let's bring the fire inside. I'm freezing.
Yeah.
I need to eat. Let's cook that thing.
So you guys kind of move, still kind of cautiously into the cave, just in case you don't know. Maybe they're a mated pair.
Another one. Maybe there's something in the back of the cave.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an egg. Maybe he laid some egg.
Who the hell knows?
But you take your time to kind of thoroughly search it before you start setting up your camp. Don't find any signs of anything else. But you do find as you're kind of going through the debris and stuff. I don't know who wants to designate themselves as party treasurer, but
I'm taking notes.
Not it.
Not it.
Fine, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Caldy will volunteer, but I don't know if you want him to.
So you do find a partially digested leather belt. The leather is not useful, but it has a silver belt buckle.
Nice.
Which is worth 3 silver pieces.
Nice.
And probably enough silver if you had a way to like melt it down, you could like use it to coat a weapon or make some arrowheads or something similar.
It could be good. I mean, something needs silver.
And you also find the remnants, and you very carefully kind of open it. And it's looks like it's like a torn out or partially digested page out of a journal. That says, at long last, after nearly 2 decades, I believe I've located the island where Clay's rosary was swept long ago. If my knowledge of the currents is correct and the old sailors are to be believed, there's an island along which the path would have gone. I've hired a boat to take me to the island and left them with instructions to return in 2 weeks' time. By then, I'll either have located the rosary or written off this location.
Clay's rosary?
Clay's rosary.
Clay in the same way as, like...
Yep.
The god.
Okay.
And I'll make that viewable under the journal tabs. It'll say search for the rosary.
Noted all this.
And anybody who has lore can make a lore roll.
I can help.
I think I do have lore. I do.
I do not.
My brain is damaged by the frost, but I do have lore.
So modifier +1.
Yep, +1 for the help.
I ate a
Bug?
rotten.
Yeah, no, I'm going to push it.
zucchini.
How many dice are you rolling?
He's down to like 4 because he's taken some wits damage.
Oh, okay.
But still, 1.
Okay, 1 second. All right. So you've heard of the rosary. You don't know the exact details. You do know that apparently it's a rosary. You're surprised that Okatai hasn't heard of this because it's tied to some of the Druidic orders. But it's basically the rumors are that or the legend is that Clay was fatigued after basically controlling the winds over the Ravenlands, over the world, and he needed a rest, but he couldn't let the winds just go all willy-nilly. So he created a rosary of druidic sigils called Maha signs that could control the weather. You don't know the exact details. Apparently, he gave it to a priestess, or like some of the legends are a priestess, some of them are his mortal lover. The legends are vague, but he gave it to someone to use while he rested. And an enemy of Clay's saw this and changed their form to basically get close to this priestess or lover or whatever, and made away with the rosary. From there it gets vague. Some of the legends are that it, during a scuffle it fell into the waters and it was washed away. Some of them say that another god saw what was happening and took the opportunity to steal the rosary while they were in the shape of a dolphin and swam away with it. The end result is the rosary was lost in the waters. Apparently, whoever wrote this journal thought they had found it, and perhaps this island that they refer to was a possible location. But if the legends are true, if this rosary exists and does what it's, the stories say it does, it controls the weather.
Yeah, so Trustius will, look at the parchment, what's left of it, and again, staring at his feet, not making eye contact, being very, very small, just to reiterate exactly what you said.
Okay.
My teacher spoke of druids strong enough to control the weather. That thing might make it easier for someone to use that, or just allow someone to use that. I'd be curious to look into it, but right now let's keep that thing safe and let's start a fire. But I'm not very familiar with Legends of the God, so I might have missed some of that, but still might be of interest.
All right, and as we get into the last quarter day of the day, what would folks like to do?
We're gonna need to make a camp and so we don't freeze to death.
Yeah.
So I propose making camp inside the grotto. Somebody can keep watch while we make camp, and some people can sleep while we make camp. It's not gonna be as comfortable, but you'll be ready to watch over when we sleep after that.
I'll keep watch. It's nighttime. I'll keep watch.
Okay.
So Cuddy's keeping watch. I'm going to sleep.
I can make camp. It's a survival role making camp.
It's a survival roll. Assuming you're using somebody's tent, that's a +2 gear bonus, and the flint and steel is a +1 gear bonus, and they stack.
Oh, I'm gonna take all the bonus I can.
Okay.
Desi, what do you want to do?
I have a tent, but if
We need to
if
sleep.
Okatai is setting them up, then I'll just curl up and sleep while he's doing that. Because I imagine we're planning on staying here for at least a day or two.
Yep.
Then
There's
we'll
silver, at the very least, there's silver moss in the area. So
Ryzen.
I can do whatever is needed, depending on what it is.
Think sleeping probably.
Yeah, I can sleep.
Okay. Kogan, since Caldy's keeping watch, Kogan will, if he can borrow somebody's knife, he will butcher the owlbear.
Oh, I'm gonna recover my my knives.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I
Robert
trust you
Morrow
to
or
let him
something.
use his knife.
So yeah, you can recover your knives. That's no problem.
Our lost, I guess.
All right. So it is a scouting roll from Caldy.
Okay.
No darkness penalty because you're a goblin. Everybody who's trying to sleep without the benefit of a camp being made can give me an endurance roll.
I have a tent, so am I okay?
The tent is part of the making a camp, so it's basically you guys are trying to get shut-eye while they set up camp so that you're functional during the day.
So I have to make a survival roll?
Yep.
Okay.
Endurance roll.
That sucked. I guess I'll push, I guess.
Okay. No problem. Taking a little bit of damage at this stage is fine because if you succeed at the roll, it means you actually do get the rest and can recover. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I managed to make camp even if I'm at wit's end.
All right. If somebody wants to make note, Kogan gets essentially 5 pelts and 5 meat off the owlbear. By the time morning comes, everybody except for Caldy, Okatai, and Kogan has gotten sleep. You guys can click your little rest button. Everybody, the other 3 though are sleepy.
Yep.
But no longer cold.
Oh yeah.
And we will wrap it up as we get into the start of the next day.
Great on time.
So once again, for XP purposes,
From the what our friend got from the owlbear, can we get some kind of trophy? Like, I know it's meat and fur, but like a head's rest made of his head or something. Just a proof of killing that thing.
you can. The head would be a heavy item, and it's going to need somebody to cure it so it doesn't spoil. All right. So if you answer yes to the following questions, did you participate in the game session?
Yeah.
Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map you had not visited before?
We did.
Did you discover a new adventure site?
Nope.
No, this is not an adventure site. Did you defeat one or more monsters?
We
Yes.
did, actually.
Did you find a treasure worth 1 gold or more? No, not yet. Did you build a... You don't have a stronghold yet. Nobody activated their pride. I don't think anybody suffered from their dark secret.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Did you risk your life for another PC?
I did run into melee with Desi.
Isn't
maybe.
Anthony dealing?
Yeah, given the fact that you ran into melee with an owlbear with a knife and no armor.
I have
Yeah,
people for
your
that.
call.
Yeah.
You have me for that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it had a couple of attacks that like affect everybody that she would not have been able to parry.
Yeah, there was one of I didn't get hit ish by it. I resisted it, but the fear attack.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
I don't think I did.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't think there's anything extraordinary per se.
I mean, my greatest claim to fame right now is starting a fire in the pouring rain, but I wouldn't call that exceptional in that context.
But it does sound like most of you, everybody got at least 3 XP.
Correct.
Um,
3. Okay.
Yep. Yep. One for the monster, one for the new hex, and one for playing.
Yeah. Okay.
So if there's anything, take a look. If there's anything you want to increase, just remember that increasing things will take a quarter day at least. But people are going to be sleeping probably. So
Yep.
I imagine you guys may be in this area for a little while at least.
Yeah, I'm planning on sleeping, then trying to harvest some wood, and I'd be interested in taking a quarter day to try to practice parrying. If you want to practice with me, this is Lava. I have high enough wits that I think I can learn a bird out of nothing, and then I can teach it to you.
Excellent. All right. So we will call it there for this evening,
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
and we will see everybody next week.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
All right,
Take care,
guys.
Have
everybody.
a good night, guys.